Hello students, this is Divya Meena, Assistant Professor, Government Girls College, Sikandra. Today we will discuss about the poem Our Casuarina Tree, written by datt. Datt was an Indo-Anglian writer who died very early at the age of 21. Therefore, she is compared with the Keats. Keats also died very early, but he became very famous for his writing. He was a romantic poet. He was a late romantic poet. In the same way, though datt died very early at the age of 21, but she wrote very famous poems. So the Our Casuarina Tree is also one of them. The poem Our Casuarina Tree shows a autobiographical note. Toru had one sister and one brother, Aru and Abju, and both of they were died at very early age. So this poem shows a note of lamentation on their death, and the casuarina tree is too much lovely to her, as they used to play under the casuarina tree. So there is a note of lamentation on the early death of her brother and sister. So through this poetry, she remembers them and also tries to immortalize them through describing about this tree in her poetry, Our Casuarina Tree. So let us begin with the poem. Like a huge python, winding round and round, the rugged trunk indented deep with scars. Like a huge python. Python is like a snake, like a big snake. So he says that as a python, the creeper is winding around the trunk of the casuarina tree. Indented deep with scars. There are scars upon the trunk of the casuarina tree up to its very summit near the stars. Creeper climbs, and she says that the casuarina tree is that much big that it reaches up to the star. A creeper climbs in whose embraces bound no other tree could live. There is a creeper climbs around the casuarina tree like a huge python, and that is a poisonous creeper. No other tree could be survive if that creeper climbs around any other tree. But gallantly the Kent wears the scarf, and flowers are hung in crimson clusters, all bows among. But gallantly, no other tree can be survived with this kind of a poisonous creeper, but casuarina tree is standing there very bravely, and it looks like as a scarf is worn by this big tree, where the beautiful crimson color flowers are blooming all over the branches of casuarina tree, whereon all day are gathered bird and bee, and oft at nights the garden overflows. And on the branches of the casuarina tree, birds and bee gather there. They sit upon the branches of the tree, and oft at nights the garden overflows with one sweet song that seems to have no close. And at the night time, in the daytime, all the bees and birds sits on the branches of the tree, and at the night time, the sweet singing birds sing melodious songs all over the night. And it seems that this kind of music will never stop. Sung darkling from our tree while men repose. The birds sing song while the men take rest. So here in this stanza, the poetess picturizes the casuarina tree. It shows that how much eminent and huge and big casuarina tree gallantly, bravely is facing a poisonous creeper. Beautiful flowers are blooming there, and all the day and night birds sing their melodious song. When my first casement is wide open thrown at dawn, my eyes delighted on it rest. When first my casement, when in the morning, when I open my window and I see at the casuarina tree, my eyes delighted on it rest. The sight of the casuarina tree gave the pleasure to the eyes of the poetess. Sometimes, and most in winter, on its crest a grey baboon sits, statue like a long. And in the winter season, when early in the morning, when she looks at the casuarina tree, she looks at a baboon. Baboon is a kind of monkey. So a grey baboon always sits on the branch of the casuarina tree, watching the sun rise, and the baboon watches the sunrise in the morning time, while on lower boughs his puny offspring leap about and play, and on the lower branches the puny here means the children of the baboon, they leap and they play upon the branches of the casuarina tree. And far and near kokilas hail the day, and there in the morning time the melodious sound of kokilas is heard, which welcome the arriving of the new day. And to their pastures went over sleepy cows, and the cows which has not fully awoke, they are going to the pasture for grazing grass. And in the shadow on the broad tank cast by that haw tree, so beautiful and vast, water lilies spring like snow and mast. And when the sleepy cows are moving towards the pasture, there is a tank near the casuarina tree, and there the shadow of these cows fall in the tank, and their beautiful flowers blooms in that tank. Beautiful lilies are blooming there, and the beautiful white lilies look like the look like as if the snow is spread all over there. So again he imagines the that situation when she used to look at the casuarina tree early in the dawn time.